Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. My name is Gab, and I'm here with my cousin and co-host,
Jobin, aka the City Slicker, aka Job.
And today we are talking about a movie that I, for whatever reason, nominated as a movie to watch before you die, and that is Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, I Love You, Man. Dylan, you had seen this movie prior to this,
I was going to
right?
say, this was your pick. You've never seen this movie before this, right?
No, but I would like to tell you a brief story of kind of the lore of this movie in my life.
Please tell me a story. Tell me a story about the Wabbits, Gab.
Yes. So when I was in 12th grade, senior in high school, living my best life, I went to Disney World with a bunch of my friends. It was sort of like a school sanctioned trip, but it was really just 15 teenagers and like one chaperone. And I'm not really clear on exactly how we got this done, but we all went to Disney World, and it was very much like, don't do anything stupid or get arrested, and I'll see you guys on Friday. So when we were in Disney, I remember my friend Casey he must have just seen I Love You, Man, because he would not stop quoting it, and we kept referring to our teacher as Jobin, and we continued to say slap in the bass and whatever and ha 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 the whole trip. And that was my only knowledge of this movie. And I remember laughing my ass off in Disney World about how funny it was.
I was going to ask, is 12th grade Gab saying slab the bass with no basis for what it means?
Absolutely no context.
Okay.
Zero. Yeah. Yeah. And so I feel good that now I have context, but it was definitely a bit of a different watch, I imagine, at 33 than it would have been at 18.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'll get into it more at opinion time, but I think it's actually a little bit more relatable at this age than it was at that age.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Of course. So, all right, Dill. Well, why don't you tell the listeners who maybe have not yet seen this movie, even though they've been quoting it for many years, what this movie is about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain!
As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
I Love You, Man is about Peter Clavin, who is a realtor, and he is about to get married. He has just gotten engaged, and he realizes that he does not have any friends to be part of his bridal party. And he really is just trying to figure out, as an adult male, how do you make friends? As an adult, how do you make friends? I think it's relatable either way, but specifically for men who are more closed off from their emotion, how do you bridge that gap? How do you really reach out to other men?
Yeah. Yeah. What does IMDb have to say?
IMDb sounds meaner with the first word. Friendless Peter Clavin goes on a series of mandates to find the best man for his wedding. But when his Insta bond with his new BFF puts a strain on his relationship with his fiance, can the trio learn to live happily ever after?
Okay. I don't hate that. It's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two taglines for you.
Hit me.
I don't think they're great. Are you man enough to say it?
No.
He needed a best man. ... He got the worst.
Oh, I hate them both.
It doesn't feel like a good representation either way.
No, I think the are you man enough to say it? It feels like that's not necessarily what the movie's about. It's not like, oh, here comes Peter, he can't open up. Like, he's actually a pretty emotional guy.
He's extremely in touch with his feminine side. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one, like, he didn't get the word. Like, he did some dumb shit, but he's not like, it's not like a serial killer movie.
It is not. The funny thing is, I actually watched recently Friendship on HBO Max with Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave and Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah.
It actually pairs really well with this movie because it feels like the warped kind of weird version of this movie.
Interesting. Yeah, we saw some commercials for that, and it looked pretty good.
It's worth checking out. It was a cool watch. Yeah.
I don't really care for him, Tim Robinson.
If you watch I Think You Should Leave and laugh, you'll laugh at the movie. If you watch it and you don't laugh, you're not going to like the movie.
We watched like an episode or two, and I was kind of like, is this like, when's it going to get funny?
Here's the thing about that show. It takes it so far to the extreme that every sketch is either hysterical or not remotely funny. So in the first episode, I don't think I found it funny until you get to the last sketch where it's about him eating the receipt paper with Stephen Yen that might have poop on it. And at the very end, it goes on for so long that he convinces the whole room Stephen Yen pooped and then touched the receipt and he ate the receipt and now he's sick because of it. And everybody's leaving with him. And by the time you get to the point where he is in the car and he has died from eating the receipt with the poop on it, it gets me. It's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
But I very much get it when people are like, this does not work for me. It's a very
Yeah.
specific sense of humor.
Yeah. 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 I'd like to check it out. But let's see if it takes me another 15 to 17 years. Like
Yeah,
I Love You Man did.
we'll be doing episode 1,000, and you'll be telling me about what you thought of Friendship.
Yeah, yeah, I'll meet you there. All right. I don't think there's like a ton to say in terms of catching people up if they haven't seen it. Paul Rudd is getting married. It quickly becomes uncovered that he doesn't have a lot of friends. So while the fiance is getting her bridal party together and has two best friends and many other close friends, Peter doesn't really have anyone to fill out his side of the bridal party. So he goes on a hunt to find a friend. We talk about how difficult it is to make friends as an adult. And then finally, he kind of meets someone and hilarity ensues.
I think that is a perfectly fine way to say it. I think it's worthwhile to just get into our opinions because I don't think there's that much story that we need to dive into the complex plot points.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
In this critic's opinion,
That's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
So to start with, I guess I would say this movie really hangs on Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. I think Paul Rudd is universally liked. I know how I feel about Jason Segel. Are you a fan? Like, or did you watch How I Met Your Mother or anything else with him?
Yeah, so I'll say two things. Number one, Jason Segel for me can go either way. He
Okay.
can be very sweet and charming, or he can be like kind of disgusting. And first of all, kudos to him for being the type of actor who can make you feel that polarized, right? Either you love him or you hate him. I think that's great. But I definitely prefer the lovable side of Jason Segel. So I did watch How I Met Your Mother. I loved it. I think Marshall is probably my favorite character on that show. I think he did an incredible job with him after his father dies. Like it was
Yeah.
just so well done. And this is going to kind of take me into another opinion, so I'm sorry to piggyback you, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall is one of my favorite movies. And I kind of went into this movie expecting it to be on that level.
I mean, I think they they're both comedies, obviously, but they're not really the same, even though they're both romantic. You know what I mean? The tone is very different between what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's two very different types of romances. You're more generic actual romance and your bromance, as this movie would like you to believe that it coined the term. But I feel like Jason Segel to me is one of those actors who, over time, I've just been very impressed by the choices that he makes as an actor, like what projects he picks, because I remember seeing him in this Judd Apatow stuff, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I Love You Man, Knocked Up, and really liking him in all of those things. But I feel like as time has gone on, I've seen him in things like Winning Time, which was the show about the Dynasty Lakers, where he plays a character that's not really that funny a character. And it was nice to see him play this character who is so full of himself and thinks that he's the reason for this team's success when, the team has Magic Johnson and all these great players. But it was an interesting role for him to take on. And I just started watching on Apple TV Shrinking, and I caught up on that, and he's the star of that. And it's just a very layered character where, yes, he is a funny guy in it, but he's also dealing with his wife is dead in the show and dealing with, being not as good a father as he should be because he's been dealing with that passing and things like that. And I just think he's made a lot of interesting choices. And you forget that he's been acting since he was a teenager in Freaks and Geeks. You know what I mean? He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm just to say, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Also very talented. Maybe very talented is the wrong way to say this, but he's a good singer, like a performer. Like he has that extra like camp, I guess.
Are you
is what
just
I'm trying to
thinking of
say.
him singing Forgetting Sarah Marshall with the
100%,
puppets?
yes. Yeah,
And
but
if I
also,
find
didn't
Van
he sing in
Helsing,
the
I
Muppet
will
movie?
slay him.
Didn't he sing in the Muppet movie?
Yes, he did. Am I a Muppet or a Muppet of a Man? Is that the song? Am I a
I don't
man
know.
or a Muppet of a Man? I think that's what the song was.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah, very likable. I think he
Now,
can be.
I wanna go back to Paul Rudd, who we said is universally loved. And listen, I'm not here to debate whether or not Paul Rudd is lovable. But what I am here to say is that as an adult woman, confidently, I can say that I'm not attracted to Paul Rudd in the way that I think a lot of women are.
What does that mean? Sexually? Like what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like I think, listen, Paul Rudd hasn't aged a day, but I don't think he is like as strikingly handsome as many of my fellow women do.
He's kind of the, I think like he's not Hugh Jackman or Ryan Gosling. He's like
I'm sorry, did you Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman is generally considered to be very
No,
hot. No,
not
he's
in this
fine, fine,
house.
fine. He's not Ryan Gosling or
Ryan
like Michael B.
Gosling.
Jordan or somebody like that. He's more boy next door. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I think that his peak of handsomeness was in Clueless.
Is it because of the character? Because what about like Ant-Man where he's
Probably.
finally got like a six pack? You know what I mean?
I've never seen it. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair.
I haven't seen Ant-Man.
Fair enough.
Um, I like him a little bit more rugged rather than and yes, I do think the character, number one. So outside of Clueless, I do think I prefer my Paul Rudd a little bit more rugged. In this movie, he's very like like clean
Baby
shaven.
faced.
Yeah, but also, and I'm wondering if this was intentional. I wish Corey was here because he worked in fashion for a very long time, so he's got a really good eye for this. None of the clothes they put him in fit him very well. Even his wedding tuxedo, he looked schlubby.
I wonder if this is around the same time as like an Ant-Man, and they had to sort of say like, we don't want him to look super
Jacked.
shredded. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just feel like a tuxedo
No, this is like
most
6 years before Ant-Man.
yeah, it just didn't look good. Like the pants were ill-fitting, the jacket was ill-fitting.
But maybe that is part of the point. That's just supposed to be like make him feel more ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps he doesn't want to look, incredible. Nobody really looked incredible in terms of like his wedding party. Let's talk about the cast.
I was about to bring that up. This is one of the best like ensemble casts I feel like I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like it is unbelievable the collection of comedic talents and talent in general, even to actors who are appearing in tiny slivers of a role.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in a tiny role, you have John Favreau, who great director, great actor. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think who else is in Thomas Lennon, who steals every scene he's in as Doug.
Yep. J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons and Jane Curtin as the parents, tiny roles. Yes.
Yep. Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg at least has like a decently sized role, at which I think it's such a sweet moment in this movie when, spoiler, at the very end of the movie when they were finally having the wedding and they don't think Sydney, Peter doesn't think Sydney is coming. He finally, even though there's a big age difference, he asks his brother to be the holder of the ring, ipso facto, the best man. And I think Andy Samberg does such a good job of like just that moment where we see how much it means to him and he hugs Peter. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We also have the other guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Joe Lo Truglio, who's actually
Joe Lo
from Ozone Park, New York.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. This has to be where those two guys met, right? Because this is way before Brooklyn
This is
Nine-Nine.
way before Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You've actually got a lot of people from Brooklyn Nine-Nine in this, and you got a lot of people from like Parks and Rec in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about what the hell is her name?
Rashida Jones?
Rashida Jones. Thank you. I've said this for a long time, and I will never not say it. She's a terrible actor.
Why do you say that?
Because her role in this, her role in Parks and Rec, her role in The Office, all the same. She's just playing herself. I think her comedic timing is fine, but she is just always Rashida Jones, just different haircut, different background.
I think it's tough for me to dispute because I only really know her from those three things. I know she was on like, I think it was Adult Swim had a series, Angie Tribeca, that she was like an out there comedic role more so. And I wonder if I'd watch that, if I'd be able to better defend her.
Yeah.
But I think she does exactly what the movie asks of her. You know what I mean?
She does exactly what everything asks of her. It's just that they don't ask her to do anything because she's not that good at it.
Well, then I wouldn't say she's a bad actor, but I just wouldn't say that you have anything to tell me she's a great actor either. You know what I mean? I don't think
Yeah.
that says she's a bad actor if she's doing exactly what she has to do. In fact, it says she's doing the job well. She's
Yeah.
not winning an Oscar for what she's doing, but she is doing exactly what she needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will
She looks
say
good with bangs.
she looks good with bangs. Very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
She does a great job because she really needs to be the source of conflict at a point in this movie, because this is a movie that doesn't have a lot of conflict, which is normally the driver of your story, of your movie. it's a search for Peter, but it's not like this great quest that he's on.
Hmm.
But finally, we need in like the last third of this movie, we need some kind of conflict, and she's the reason it happens when finally she meets Sydney, and first he gives the bad toast, and then we get them at the Rush concert where they're licking each other's bases in the audience, and she's just kind of freaked out by being ignored basically by him and his too close of a relationship with Sydney, I guess. Although I do love sidebar, I love in that scene when Paul Rudd gets up on Sydney's shoulders. Peter gets up on Sydney's shoulders, and for some reason does like the Beavis and Butthead shirt over his head thing to celebrate Rush. I'm like, okay, weird flex, but whatever. I do love Peter Clavin's weird speech things that he does, where he's like, "See you later, Magooch."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jobin.
He is so awkward. How do you feel about this? Do you feel that you are awkward in those situations? Like, especially if somebody comes on feeling really confident?
I think most people are, especially if you actually like and are excited about talking to somebody, like, and you don't know them well. Like, of course, you're like, you know what I mean? You're trying not to make a fool of yourself, which ends up making you make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
I think the one Zach and I quote all the time is, "I will see you then, or I will see you another time." I'm not.
Yes.
I don't understand. Are you coming? I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we say that every time we make plans. See you then, or I'll see you at another time.
It really is like such a universal thing. And I feel like as a kid, it's so easy to make friends. And I kind of want to talk about this because I do think that there are some people who are just really good at it. But I do think as an adult, it's like you almost feel like you have to like have a good reason to strike up a conversation with somebody. So when you're a kid, you'll just be like, "Hey, cool backpack. You want to hang out?" You know what I mean? Like it just like there are no social like boundaries between people.
Yeah, as a kid, you're also like almost forced to be friends with people. Like you're gonna be around certain people socially for endless parts of the day, whether it be going to school as a kid, maybe you do summer camp. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be around other children, and literally, yeah, you're right. As a 6-year-old, you might just go friends question mark, and then yeah, and we've been friends for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's just
yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you become an adult and it's like yeah, I don't know. It's like unless you have like a because I work with people, right? And I'll talk to them a little bit, but I don't necessarily like you don't always like reveal personal things about
Yes.
yourself with these people because there's like a boundary and it's very similar. However, there are people who make friends everywhere they go and just they people just flock to them. And I can say this with confidence because I am marrying one of them because Corey has friends. The language barrier doesn't matter. Like we go into the corner store and the guy who speaks exclusively Spanish, he lights up every time Corey comes in.
That's
He's so happy to see him.
well, I would say, does he hang out with those people? Because I think as an adult, there's a big difference between it's very easy to be friendly. I think it's very hard to make friends.
Well, yes, that's a fair distinction. There's a jazz club near where we live, and we walk past it to go to the train. And somehow, the guy who stands outside the jazz club at night, like checking people's ID, and like he's not a bouncer, but he like works for the club. Corey somehow knows that he's also a Mets fan, and every time we walk past, he lets him know what the score is of the game. And he's always so happy to see him. And hey, man, they don't know each other's names, right? There's a guy at the gym.
Let me ask you, do they stop and chat, or is this they just walk by?
It's a drive by, but it's a we're walking slower now, so we can be
This
like, hey
sounds
man,
friendly,
just so you know.
not friends.
Okay, I'm coming. Hold on, there's more. There's a guy at our gym from Russia, Dylan. He speaks like barely a lick of English, but he will try, and he'll take out his phone and speak his Russian into Google Translate and show it to Corey, and Corey will be like, oh wow, and then he'll speak English, and then he'll read, and then the thing will read it to him in Russian. He's like, oh wow, and they go back and forth, and I'm like, this is bananas. Like this guy is going goosh, and the two of them are laughing and having a thing. It's crazy. And then there's all these other people that like want to talk and like, oh, you should come to our birthday party, whatever. He is the single most beloved human being of anyone I've ever seen. And I feel like I go out of my way to seem unfriendly so people won't want to talk to me.
I was going to say, I don't have the social battery to make friends anymore. Like I can be very friendly with people, but if people want to hang out with me, I'm like, but then I gotta do stuff the next day, and I gotta
Yeah,
do stuff that day,
I feel that.
and I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I need time to be not engaging
I
with
have the
people.
graveyard of past friends that I have left behind, and there's no room for new ones.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. We're all full up here. I do want to talk a little bit though about my sort of new appreciation for male friendship. Okay. So this past weekend, Frank came up from Atlanta to spend the weekend with us. And one of the things that I really
Frank,
appreciate,
who previously was on the Replacements episode.
yes, Frank, who recommended a terrible movie. He he was here and he was like, "Oh, we should watch whatever baseball movie." And I was like, "I don't trust you anymore." So no. Frank, one of the things that I really that first struck me about Corey and especially his relationship with Frank was that anytime they hung up the phone, they went, "All right, I love you, man." And I was like, "Oh, that's so not like they love each other. They say, I love you. I love that." And then having him here, it was really crazy to me. And like Frank and Corey will talk to each other on the phone. They'll take 5 minutes, right? Like he'll walk from the train to our apartment and it's maybe 4.5 minutes. And he'll just call him and they'll chat for 4.5 minutes and then they'll hang up. Very, just like constant touch points in the day. He'll FaceTime with us for 2 hours on a Sunday, like, well, whatever. But I think what's really special about their relationship is that even though they are so far apart in distance, he's a part of our everyday life. Like it's like he may as well be here. And I don't know a ton of women who I think are traditionally a little bit more in touch with their emotions and a little bit more open who have relationships like that. Never mind two dudes.
I think that's unique, and I think that's a nice thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know me and Zach say "love you" every time we're getting off the phone with each other, but I know a lot of like
Yeah.
male siblings who don't even do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I will also say though, I had friendships where it was like I was friends with you for 10 years, and all we talked about was like the Mets. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's like the friendship never got like we never got deeply into what was going on in each other's lives. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah.
much more surface, shallow level friendship.
Yeah.
And those exist too, but I think that's sort of what I feel like this movie is about. It's like, how hard is it to make that type of friend where you guys are going to have a deep relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say that Zach is your best friend?
Zach and Hank Mardukas.
Of course. We talk
Zach
on the
says that to me
phone.
all the time too. Zach will be like, me and Zach will be talking to be like, Dylan, you're my best friend. And Hank Mardukas.
That is so freaking great.
Yeah.
I yeah. It's nice. It's really nice. Especially because you and Zach were fucking assholes to each other when we were growing up.
I feel like we went through a level of extremely close, extremely far apart, and that extremely close again.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to be extremely close again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. I really, it's interesting too because I have been in a relationship previously with a man who didn't really have any close male friends.
Was that better or worse? Was it as they fear in this movie? They talked about like that because of that, he would be more needy and attention and clingy.
There were definitely levels of that. I think what it really does is it makes you feel guilty for having like other relationships. Not and other relationships is a harsh way of saying it, but like if I wanted to go out with my girlfriends and it was like, well, I'm leaving you, and then I feel badly that I'm leaving you, when in reality, like you should have your own
Yeah, it
thing.
shouldn't be like
Even
having a dog with separation anxiety. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think I really understood that until I was in a relationship with somebody who had plenty of other things to do. You know what I mean? Like, and a huge part of that is like, oh, I'll just hang out with, I'll call Frank or whatever. And some of it is just like, oh, I'll just watch this cartoon that you don't give a fuck about. It's like, oh, I think the what's really important, whether it's male friendship or hobby or whatever, is just that there's something else that they have to live for.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be like you make plans with other people, but you're right. It can be like I know now I've gotten to a point where it's like, oh, people aren't free. Oh, okay, you're doing something else. Well, all right, I'm gonna take myself to the movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you're willing to do things on your own or can just be alone, That's all you need. It doesn't have to be that you're hanging out with 100,000 friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Two things I think made me really appreciate that kind of thing is number one, living alone. Delightful. Forces you to get comfortable not being around other people.
Mhm.
So that I think was really big. And then second, just becoming old enough to feel like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go do this by myself. Like I was thinking the other day, I would happily go to a Mets game by myself.
Yeah, I definitely think that'd be cool in certain ways.
Like
I
I don't,
think
not that I want to, but if it was like I really want to go to this game and nobody else is available, I'm going.
I was going to say, if I really want to do something and I'm going to do it by myself, that's fine. I always think, the same thing with the movies. It's a communal experience at the end of the day. Like if I go to the movies by myself, I have a good time. I think it's better when you go with somebody else and you can share the joy, disappointment, whatever together. Same thing with if you go to the Met game, it's more fun to watch the team win with the person that you went with and by yourself, but
Yeah.
you can still have a good time by yourself, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
By the way, I want to shout out two more people who have tiny roles that we didn't mention. Aziz
Yes.
Ansari and Nick Kroll
Oh
are
yeah.
literally in the movie for like 30 seconds each. Like I think
Yeah.
Aziz Ansari's only line is like, fuck you, whatever Nick Kroll's character's name is, fuck you, Eugene, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's out of the movie. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. In and
Yeah.
out real quick. The we're going to talk about this in the facts, but the actress who plays Haley, why does she look so familiar to me?
I was thinking that because she's the one person who like I don't immediately know in this movie, I feel like. And it's funny because she's paired with Jamie Presley, who I think is such an underrated, very talented actress.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know if you watched My Name is Earl, but I absolutely
Of course I did.
I loved that show, and she was honestly the best in it.
I agree. You know, the guy from My Name is Earl, the best friend, the fat guy who was also in Boy Meets World.
Ethan Suplee.
Yeah. You know, he lost like 250 pounds.
He's jacked now. Yeah.
He's amazing.
I think at his heaviest, he was like 400 pounds when he was in Boy Meets World and stuff like that, or Mallrats.
Yeah.
But you know what we know Haley from?
What?
She's one of the detectives, the female detective in Barry.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. 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 Okay.
I think that might be the only thing I really know her from, but I was like, I know her from something.
Yeah, she looks so familiar. I really want to start watching Barry again from the beginning. I think I'm gonna tell Corey that's our next endeavor.
You never finished it though, right?
No, I only ever watched the first season. I never even started the second season.
It's a rough second half. I know I feel like we discuss it every like 10 episodes on this, but
I know. Is it over after season 2? Like it comes to a close?
no, it's 4 seasons.
And all 4 are out?
Yeah.
And then does it come to a close?
Yes.
Damn.
Season 1 and 2, delightful fun romps with some drama. Season 3 and 4, traumatic drama with occasional laughs.
Damn.
Yeah. I've actually seen her in a bunch of other shows that I feel like I know, Big Little Lies, American Vandal, but she's like never a huge part of those things. And she's really good in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
The actress who plays
she's
Haley.
fine.
I love, although this is more about Jason Segel, when the 4 of them go on the double date golfing.
Yes.
I do think all the time of him going, this is my nightmare.
That and no, please stay. Wait.
No, please don't go. Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, I was expecting, I think what's really funny is that, how long ago was I 17? I'm 33 now. Do the math for me real quick.
16 years ago.
16 years ago. I was really expecting that this movie would have a lot more in it than the brief description I got 16 years ago, and it didn't. I knew it already. I didn't even have to watch it. We could have had this conversation.
I guess so. Like I said, I don't think there's not a lot of symbolism for what the deeper meaning is behind Sydney's jerk off station and his man cave. You know what I mean? It's just very much a realistic depiction of male relationships and trying to bond in your 30s.
Yeah.
Which, seeing what Paul Rudd is supposed to look like in his 30s and what I look like in my 30s is very upsetting.
Is he really in his 30s in this movie? He must be.
I don't know. I feel like he has to,
I mean,
right?
he's probably like late 30s, early 40s.
I think he's 40 when the movie comes out. Damn.
Damn. Paul Rudd doesn't age. Not interested though. All right. I have nothing else to say.
You know what I do think is funny when Sydney and Peter are talking about masturbation, and Sydney is asking him the last thing he jerked off to, and he says, "I used to picture him so he in a bikini that I took when we were on a vacation in Cabo St. Lucas." And Sydney's reaction of disgust with, "You jerked off to a picture of your own girlfriend? That's sick. Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" Like, it, because I feel like it's such a defacing thing to have done to like the actual woman he loves, I guess. But I find that back and forth really funny. Also, why did we find Slap the Bass so funny?
I don't know. I think it was just the fact that he was trying to do a very simple Jamaican accent. It was like, it sounded like a leprechaun.
Rashida Jones, I saw a clip of her saying, she was like, "I am breaking during that scene." And like, we just used the take that you least see me breaking. But for some reason, if I had been in the room with Paul Rudd, I would have been dying too. Because even now, like the next day after I watched this was going like, in my mind, I at least 3 or 4 times throughout the day went, "Slap the best man."
Yeah.
I slap that best man. You know,
But
you're
it's,
laughing
like,
right now.
not-
Why are you laughing? It's not
Yeah.
funny.
It's not funny.
Oh,
It's not
slap
funny.
the best.
But we all really did find that to be so funny. I was shocked at the scene where he threw up on Jon Favreau.
Again, behind the scenes, you can see them using a compressed cannon for that.
Yeah.
You know what's the most interesting thing about that, having watched that behind the scenes? When they did the compressed cannon version, it's him and Jon Favreau with a green screen behind them. So the friends being there is green screened in. And I wonder if they did another take where he pretends to throw up and you have all of the friends reacting, and then they had to composite it in. And I'm like, I wonder what made them need to do that. If it was because they didn't know if there'd be splashback on the rest of them and it's not supposed to be. Like, I was so curious about it, but it was very interesting seeing that.
I feel like it's got to be either they couldn't keep it together, which I doubt because you do something like that so many times, it's not it loses its humor, you know? It's not funny when you go through the setup of like, okay, this is how we do it and this is what's going to trigger it and it's going to come out like it's not you don't laugh. But also it feels like unnecessary.
I do feel like though, Gab, if you go back and rewatch it now and you like pause it when it happens, you can kind of tell. And I think it speaks to the fact that it took me looking up behind the scenes and watching this movie. I have to have seen this movie like 20 times by now, that I never really noticed it before. But having now be aware of it, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, it really does feel like you didn't need to, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very bizarre.
One more person that I feel like we need to talk about.
One more person.
Is that how I said it?
Yeah, person.
Fuck it, I'll keep rolling. We'll leave that in. I really like Rob Hubble, is it? Or Hebel as Tevin.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good at playing like a smarmy douche.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
to get into the Ferrig's estate.
Yeah. Also, Lou Ferrigno. Why does he talk like that?
He's deaf.
No.
I think he's either partially or fully deaf. Yeah.
The whole time?
I think so, yeah.
I'm shocked. I didn't know this. I also know nothing about Lou Ferrigno
Lou
or the
Ferrigno,
Hulk.
first of all, I used to watch the Hulk a little bit when it would be on TV. Obviously, I wasn't alive then, so reruns, but he's, he looked as much like a monstrously muscly man as you could at a time when it was no special effects and just normal men. They were just like, let's take the most freakishly huge normal guy that we can find.
Yeah.
Also, he was on King of Queens. He was just like Harry and Doug's neighbor, but he was still playing himself, and he was great on that. Like,
yes,
I've never seen Lou Ferrigno show up and not liked it. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yeah, I believe so.
Good for him.
Yes, he had profound hearing loss since he was a toddler due to multiple ear infections that caused nerve damage.
Oh, poor
Lost
guy.
around 75% of his hearing at age 3 and has worn hearing aids since age 4. In February of 2021, he received a cochlear implant,
Oh, good for him.
which was successfully activated in March of 2021.
Good for him. That's
That's
exciting.
nice.
Yeah.
I like him.
You learn something new every day.
I just want to make sure. I want to see how old he is now.
Let me guess. 84.
73.
So sorry, Lou. Wow. Was he on performance enhancing drugs? Must have
I mean,
been.
I assume every bodybuilder who was at the Mr. Olympic level was, no?
Oh, I didn't realize that that's where
Yeah, I
he
think he,
came
like,
from.
Competed with like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were all on. Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy
you
amounts.
have to be that freakishly huge.
Have you seen The Rock?
Yeah.
The
Well, have you
Pebble
seen him
now.
now that I was gonna say that was stupid. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Have you seen the video of that guy who was like a bodybuilder and he can't even walk now because he had to have like back surgery?
Yeah. He's famous.
It's very sad.
Yeah. You suffer for your art.
Meanwhile, you're over there doing fucking handstands.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, bodybuilding is very boring to me. And it's crazy because I work with a lot of bodybuilders and mad respect. You know what I mean? Like all love and respect. But their style of training is just very like slow and controlled and boring. And I'm like, let's see who can work out the fastest.
It just makes me think of that video though, where the guy grabs the post-it note off his back and he puts it on the super muscly guy's back and he can't reach it because of his muscles. I'm like, at a certain point, it's not worth it to be that muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Corey and I first met and we were training together and he said something about like, oh, this is so hard for me because my biceps are so big. And he meant it in full sincerity. Like he was genuinely like, I really struggle with this because I have all this muscle. And I was like, oh, you can't do it.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. And then one time we were doing like chest supported rows, which is where you lay on the bench, like chest first and you row like this. So the bench is holding you up and it's like, from the chin down or whatever. And I looked at him, I said, this really hurts my boobs. And he went, me too. I'm kind of a chesty broad myself.
It hurts his pectorals.
Yeah, he's a chesty broad,
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Which it does make me think of to circle back to the actual movie. I think it's Zoe says, you and your best bud Cindy can hang out and beat up Lou Ferrigno and go to Rush concerts. And I think it's just the Lou Ferrigno inclusion that makes me laugh. Him losing that fight to Lou Ferrigno is pretty funny.
Yeah, put him in a sleeper hold. What is that?
A sleeper hold?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I think it's compressing a nerve and blocking oxygen flow briefly, I think.
But here's my confusion. My understanding of this is that it's causing you to lose consciousness.
Yes.
Is that true, or is it actually causing you to fall asleep?
Well, it's causing you to fall asleep because you're losing consciousness.
Yeah, but that's not like, oh, he smacked his head on the floor and fell asleep. Like he smacked his head on the floor and he lost consciousness. They're two very different things.
A choke, stranglehold is a general term for a grappling hold that critically reduces or prevents either air or blood from passing through the neck of an opponent. While the time it takes for the choke to render an opponent unconscious varies depending on the type of choke, average has been recorded as 9 seconds. So you're losing consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like it sang him a lullaby and lulled him off to sleep. Like in the movie,
he's not holding him going, one sheep, two sheep, three sheep. No, he is out.
Because in the movie, Jason Segel starts snoring.
Yes,
and
but
I'm
sometimes just when you're knocked unconscious, you will snore.
That's insane.
Okay, I don't know if you saw the Jackass movies, but in the first Jackass movie, Johnny Knoxville has a boxing match with Butterbean in a department store, I believe it is. Butterbean, who was a professional boxer at the time. And he knocks him out so hard that Johnny Knoxville is on the ground snoring.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I've got a real do you snore?
I think I do, but not terribly badly, I think.
Yeah. Corey recently had a cold and was snoring so badly that I had to get up in the middle of the night and go to the couch. And that was when I realized that our couch is not sleepable. And so I ordered Frank and Air mattress.
The couch is not sleepable? Why?
No.
Is it too small?
It's small, it's uncomfortable, and the air conditioner...
if it's too small for you, it's definitely too small for like Corey or Frank.
Yeah, it was not good. So anyway.
Also, why does this movie hate Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium? A movie I've never seen, but it's a hilarious title.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Have you ever seen Chocolat?
No, but you know what's really funny? I remember at one point in our house in Ronkonkoma, Uncle Erwin and Aunt Carol came over for like the weekend or whatever from Pennsylvania, and they spent like the whole time talking about what a great movie that was. And I remember being a kid and being like, nobody fucking cares. Like, how is this the only conversation piece you brought?
I was going to say, I've never cared about Chocolat, and having seen the one clip from Chocolat in this movie, it feels like it's a fake movie that was made for this movie.
Yes, it does.
Like, it feels like, what's the thing from Home Alone? Angels with like filthy rotten souls or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, but I
All
think
right,
that's all I got.
give me the facts. Let's go.
I want the truth!
Face the facts, dukes.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
Starting with our ratings on the tomato meter, it has an 82%, 167 fresh reviews, and 36 rotten. Audience score of 74% with an average score of 3.7 out of 5. It has a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. It had a budget of $40 million, it's estimated, and it grossed $92 million worldwide. The critics' consensus: I Love You Man makes the most of its simple premise due to the heartfelt and hilarious performances of Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars. It's funny with some dumb physical humor, yes, and some gross out jokes, apparently necessary to all buddy movies, but also funny in observations, dialogue, physical behavior, and Sidney Fife's observations as a people watcher.
Okay.
Katie Rich from Cinema Blend: luckily, there's no such thing as too much Jason Segel and Paul Rudd goofing around, but I Love You Man comes dangerously close to it. Robert Wilansky from The Village Voice: just as we thought the romantic comedy had overstayed its welcome, the genre reaches its highest point with I Love You Man. And Anthony Quinn: writer-director John Hamburg drastically misjudges audience sympathy here because Sid isn't cool at all.
Oh.
Hot take. Which
That was
I think
a hot
Sydney
take.
seems cool. Like, Sydney is so confident in who he is, and that's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
The lesson is be yourself.
Yeah,
Couple letterbox reviews.
please.
Lindsay: I know this movie is about navigating male friendships and stuff, but it's also just so accurate with how weird and awkward it is to try to find friends as an adult. Obviously.
Agreed.
Brooke Bird: I like how there was almost no actual conflict and they were just vibing the entire movie.
Yeah.
Axel: have you seen Sunday Night Programming on HBO? It's excellent. Realest shit ever said in the history of cinema. I love HBO so fucking much, I'd give my soul to that company.
Okay.
And they would take it.
Yeah.
Last one from Christy: this is the gayest straight movie I've ever seen.
Oh, that I can fully agree with.
That's why it's a bromance. The movie was directed by John Hamburg, who also directed Along Came Polly, Why Him, and Me Time. The screenplay is written by John Hamburg and Larry Levin, who also wrote Zoolander, Meet the Parents, Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2, and the Keith Hernandez Seinfeld episode.
Yes.
There must have been a second spitter.
Nice game, pretty boy.
I'm not going to help him go to the airport. I'm not going to help him move. The movie stars Paul Rudd as Peter Cleveland, who you may know as Ant-Man in the MCU from Clueless, Anchorman, and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Jason Segel as Sidney Fife, who you might know from Shrinking, How I Met Your Mother, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Rashida Jones as Zoe, who you may know from Parks and Rec, The Social Network, and Angie Tribeca. Also starring Jamie Presley, Jon Favreau, Jane Curtin, J.K. Simmons, Rob Hubble, Aziz Ansari, Jay Chandrasekhar, Nick Kroll, Jolo Truglio, Andy Samberg, Matt Walsh, The Band Rush, Lou Ferrigno, and of course, Thomas Lennon. Gab, are you okay?
Sorry, there's a huge fly in my apartment.
I'm reading
And-
the cast list and you just look like you're living in fear.
I am living in fear. Here's the thing. I don't know if you would remember this. There's no reason for you to. I don't think she said it to you. But Gog, before she died, told my mother and I that she was going to come back as a fly. So now, whenever there's a fly, I can't kill it because it's our fucking grandmother. But I'm also like, please don't, God, don't come here. And I'm like, how did you get in here?
To
Like,
be fair,
all
in
the
this
windows are
scenario where
closed.
Grandma Gladys is in the fly, if you kill her, she can just come back as a different fly.
I know, but I don't want her to think I'm mad at her.
Now I feel like when you watch the movie The Fly, I'm going to be like, it's Grandma.
Oh God, no, I don't want to watch it. It feels a little I'm a little uncomfortable because all the windows are closed. It's near the door. Hold on, let me try to let her out. Hold on.
Good luck.
Nope, that was fruitless. Ugh. They know how to get in, but they don't fucking know how to get out.
But unfortunately, not fruit flyless.
No. It's big too. This is like one of those flies that'll bite you.
Okay, let's get to some fun facts. First, the billboard with Peter in bed, Peter Cleveland can sell your house in his sleep, I think is what it says on it, was actually a photo extracted from Paul Rudd's 2006 Rolling Stone shoot.
Oh, no way.
While Sydney and Peter are on the moped during the first Rush song, two people in the background are waving at the camera.
Funny.
Actor John Barenthal was initially selected for the role of Robbie Cleveland, but was replaced by Andy Samberg shortly after rehearsals for the film began. Um, I think I found a quote from him about it too. Everyone started talking about how much they love baseball. And I'm like, well, shit, I played college baseball. I played baseball my whole life. He said, talking about feeling frozen out during day one of rehearsals. They literally treated me like I was not there. I didn't exist to them. John figured he was about to be fired, and he was right. Andy Samberg took over the part, which John Barenthal's a great actor. I don't see him as like a funny guy, but
Who
maybe
is
it would
he?
work. He played the Punisher. He's in The Accountant. He's a very good dramatic or action actor. He's on The Bear. He was in The Walking Dead when it first started as Shane. You've definitely seen him in something because he has worked nonstop the past few years.
Interesting.
During the engagement dinner scene,
I'm sorry. I just feel like it's gonna come close. It's it just I don't know what to do.
what can you do?
I'm gonna try to open the door one more time.
Okay.
Not even close. It doesn't understand. It doesn't get it. All right.
During the engagement dinner scene, Sidney refers to Peter's father, played by J.K. Simmons, as Oz. J.K. Simmons had a starring role in the HBO prison series Oz.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Rush, who performs during the concert scene, actually played an hour-long set for the cast, crew, and diehard fans who found out about the performance through online and radio buzz.
Wow.
And lastly, during the credits, the band at the wedding ceremony is OK Go. I don't know if you remember them at all, but I thought that
Of
was kind of
course.
cool.
Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes again.
Yeah, they don't even have any treadmills. That's probably why you didn't recognize them.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, that's all the fun facts I got. Not a lot this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess we just gotta get to it.
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
Okay, Gab. So all we have is a comment and a piece of mail, and they're both from the same person. So it's going to be relatively quick here. So
Okay.
It is. I don't know if you know this much lore about him, but I know about him from Jump on the Batwagon. He also is a wrestler, and his gimmick as a wrestler is the Milkman. Legacy Odinson, who you remember Legacy, he sent us his driver's license.
Yeah, no, I know Legacy. That is his real name.
Just had a child. Congratulations, Legacy.
What did you name it?
That's a good question. I don't know that yet, but we'll have to find that out.
Okay.
And so first, Legacy had a comment on our Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle episode, which was, surprisingly, this episode made me hungry, which I did not expect. And the other thing was, and I'm going to send this to you in real time, he sent us an email, and the email is titled For the Fridge, which I don't know if you remember at the end of our podcast, we said if you want to send us a drawing to put on our fridge. I don't remember what exactly we said, but by God, somebody decided to do it. He was a bad man enough to do it.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that is so funny. Number one employee, least updated photo. I don't understand what that means.
Because so it says White Castle Wall of Fame and it's drawings of me and Gab. I'm number one employee. Gab is least updated photo because your photo was you as a child.
Oh. Wow, that looks a lot like you and I.
Honestly, I think we got to get these printed out and put these on our fucking fridges.
I mean, we made a commitment, Dylan, and you know how we feel about commitments.
I am a man of my word, goddammit. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, within the next couple of weeks, I'm not a quick man of my word. Like,
I need some turnaround time.
Yes, at some point I will send you a picture of this on my fridge.
Thank you.
Gab, you have to do the same, goddammit.
I will. I just need access to a printer.
You're a man of my word.
Listen, we sent Kyle the picture of the shirts. We'll send Legacy the picture of the things on the fridge. We just need like 9 months.
I was going to say, disclaimer, Legacy. That took us like a year.
Yeah.
I think more than that. I felt so bad every time Kyle brought it up. But that's not important because it's done now.
Yeah. And this is our podcast.
Speaking of done now, I think we're done with this mail now. And we're going to get back to I Love You, Man.
Let's do it. And I love you too.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
Okay, Gab, this was your pick, so I'm gonna have you go first and tell me: is this a movie to watch before you die to you, having just seen it for the first time, 16 years after it came out?
Yeah. No. No.
Do you want to expand on that, or was that it for you?
No, no, no. Listen, here's the thing, right? This movie is fine. I chuckled. It is lacking any kind of depth. It was funny. It wasn't for getting Sarah Marshall. Uh, I, I've seen all I needed to see, and that's that.
I would say, for my feeling, that I think it is a lot of fun. I think it has a lot of heart to it. I think it is a relatable movie. I also don't think it's quite a movie to watch before you die. I would say it's a fun time though. Like, it's a good movie. It's just not anything. It's not great, but it's a lot of fun to quote and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say you had a fun
I like
time?
that.
Like, if somebody else wanted to watch it, would you be okay with watching it again?
If it was on TV, like on TBS or whatever, I'd leave it on in the background while I was doing something else.
It's a movie to leave on TBS in the background while you're doing something else.
Yes, before you die.
Yes, at least we could give it that.
Yeah, agreed. That's
All
how I
right.
feel about it.
Gav, let's say the things we say at the end of this podcast.
All right. Well, Dylan, if you want to send us a voice note, nope. Nope. So we
All right, Gav, let's say the things we say at the end of this
have an email.
podcast.
We have an email address that you can email us at, and a link tree with our friends from the Hall of Pods podcasting network, movies to watch before you die at gmail.com. And and in the link tree, you can find all sorts of other things, including our store where we have merch, and my Venmo, and both of our Instagrams. And yeah.
And let us end this by saying, a slap on that bass, man. See you later, city slickers.
You know, it takes a lot of nerve to spend a beautiful evening with someone and then never call them again.
Doug, I can explain.
I just wish I could take back that kiss.
Oh.
Because I felt something that I haven't felt in years. And now I know it was the taste of betrayal.
It wasn't a taste of betrayal.
It was the taste of betrayal.
No, it really wasn't.
It was the taste of betrayal, you fucking whore.